Good afternoon. Pete here from A Bit Twisted. So right now I'm plying my latest bit of linen thread that I spun, and wanted to show you my little setup that I have for plying wet. So what I have is a little plastic container. Got a piece of cloth sitting on the bottom just to raise this sponge that I have up off the bottom. And the sponge I'm using are these super absorbent sponges. Typically you can find them at like state fairs and things like that. And they just hold a ton of water. And then what I did on top of using that is I have a piece of leather that I have underneath the sponge, and I'm using the sponge to hold it in place. And I have it wrapped over the top. That way my thread is running on the leather and not the plastic. It's okay to run on the plastic, but it makes some weird noise, and I don't want to wear the plastic. I'd rather wear grooves in the leather. The leather is also wet and dampened by this process. And as I'm wetting, so the purpose is to wet the thread prior to being twisted together and then drawn on to be onto the bobbin. And so I'm going to show you that little trick. So I need to change my hook here first before doing anything. It's a little bit thicker thread than what I did the last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of press down, get a little bit of this stuff that's already spun and twisted, get it wet just to get started. And then I use my thumb and push down into the water onto that sponge. And then when I have everything all set up, I'll show you here in just a sec. Trying to get this anyway. So I want it to be wet prior to spinning. Takes a sec to get there. Well, why is it being weird? Use both fingers, press down, slide back. Not a lot of tension on this, just enough to dampen it, just like this. And then as it's being dragged across the sponge, any fuzzy bits get damp and then laid down flat first before getting twisted. And that's the goal. And that makes for a smoother, much smoother yarn. If it twists before, if it twists before I get to flatten out the stray fibers, then it can be a little fuzzy. So I let the thread kind of drift around the one thumb to keep them separated as I drag, and keep it wet. And then when the excess water hits the leather, it just kind of gets scraped off back into the dish. It's not very much either. It really isn't. And I found this was the best way to ply. And it definitely works. And periodically, yes, I have to go fill this dish up with some extra water. But this is basically now how at this point, I haven't made any other adjustments beyond this yet. And I could, because it's just been a slow learning process, finding out different ways of doing the same thing, just a little more efficient, a little bit cleaner, not quite so messy. Water can splash everywhere. If you run your thread through the water, and no way to wipe the water off, it'll sling off of the flyer, sling all over your wheel, all that stuff. This way, it doesn't really do that. Might get a little bit, but not much. But it's fully dampened and wet. And then it twists up really nice, makes a nice clean, really nice clean thread. And yes, I have a wooden, the wood on the flyer and bobbin. The moisture doesn't harm it, and the moisture leaves the linen thread really quick. It evaporates off fairly fast, and which is a benefit of linen, because it'll absorb water and then it'll evaporate quickly. If you're wearing linen clothing, it'll keep you nice and cool in that way. So slowly build up on my bobbin, and so I can even have my finger up underneath it, kind of lift it up a little bit, and let it drag on that leather as well. And again, my tension is really light on my the flyer and bobbin. So if I pull real hard, I'll just pull backwards on it. And I don't like having tight tension, as some of you are aware. Some people don't mind tight tension. I don't like it. There's enough for sure. Got to have enough, but not too much. And that way, you know, if things start going south, if the tensions, if everything kind of stops, well, I probably got a loop caught on one of the hooks, and it's not drawing on anymore. So I'll stop and I'll fix it before I get to the point where I've over twisted my thread, which you don't want to do either. So there's that. So I'm going to change the hook again and slowly build it up. I build it up from the far end to the near end, and then I go right back to the far end to the near end, to the far end and to the near end. And that's how I do it when I spin my singles as well. Just enough. Just enough. Just enough is perfect. Just enough tension, just enough moisture, enough twist. And we come up with a really good quality thread. Probably could have a little more tension on this, but not much. Put a little bit more on there. Ah, that's all right. That's good there too. That's suitable. If it's too loose, even my light tension on this stuff would pull. So I have to have it pull a little bit. But I want any stray fibers to get flattened out against the thread before they apply together. The more that happens, the better it is. Again, I will not, can't say it enough, I don't think. And today being Father's Day, well, I'm not outdoors. I'm not out doing stuff. I'm staying here doing what I want to do. Garden can wait till tomorrow. Got more tools for the garden. Knee pad, and another digging fork to help make quick work of the bindweed and grass that we have in our garden. Loosen up that soil good enough and pop those things right out. That's what I've been doing. So anyway, this is what I got, and I'm gonna call it here because our vacuum is coming out. And yes, we have a robot vacuum cleaner. And then just set it on the table, and I'm ready to go. So I got one more around here. I'm almost done plying it. I'll do that a couple more times, and then we'll be done. You can see I've already done quite a bit up here. So that's where it's at, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.